Hello, brother. Squeeze my fingers. Alrighty, so we're topped up with gas. Pretty good I found this place because we had nothing left in the tank whatsoever. We're running on fumes, and if you look over there, holy moly, look at that, that's pitch black. What do you reckon? You guys place your bets now whether we make it back high and dry. I did, as I pulled in, just heard this massive crack of thunder. Yeah, I'm glad we're going the right way because originally, like I said, I was going to go over there. But anywho, I think there might be police up here. Did they just flash us? Okay, MT-07 versus MT-09, and why I'm still glad I made the choice. Even though I test rode both of them back to back, I've ridden numerous MT-07s, I've ridden a bunch of R7s, pretty much the same thing, give or take. I've actually done some videos on this channel, and there must be police up here because that's the fourth person that's flashed me on this road, so we're going to take it easy. And we might pick up the pace a little bit later to prove my point with this bike. But yeah, basically going back to the beginning, I had a choice when I bought this to ride either or, and I basically decided, of course, to get the 09. But why did I do so? Because they're both fabulous bikes, but let's not blow smoke up the MT-07's anus. Why is everyone flashing me or something? Am I on fire? There must be police, and that is why some people are awesome. I'm sure these police are just chilling on the side of the road. I don't think they're looking out for people like me, but thank you very much, people, for giving me the heads up. Okay, we're not being followed, we're good. Sweet, police out the way, back to the road. That's coming in hard. If you've made a bet whether I get rained on or not, I think you might be quids in by the end of this video because it's looking like I'm about to get soaked. But yeah, the MT-07, MT-09 thing. So I test rode the MT-07 because at the end of the day, the price difference between the MT-07 and the MT-09 is a huge thing to take into consideration. And if you're not like me and you weren't already set on the MT-09 no matter what, you could be swayed by the price. But you've got to be honest, you get a hell of a lot more bike for your money in the MT-09. Is it worth that price hike? Well, that's entirely up to you. But for me, 100% yes. Not only because of the ridiculous amount of power that this thing comes with, because the 07 isn't a weak thing by any means. That thing, oh, I just love the sound of this. But yeah, that has enough power and enough torque for a reason. Like, master of torque is in the name. And the MT-07 is infamous for stunt riders, wheelie, lunatics and all that stuff. Because of the amount of low end torque, it's got so much power off the line. I mean, for a split second on daily roads, the MT-07 and MT-09 could be argued to be neck and neck just off the line. When you start doing silly things like this, the MT-07 really does shine. It's so light, and that really does play into the fun factor of the flickability and all that, because this is a heavier, more substantial bike. But that brings it back into the, you get more for your money, because not only do you get more power, you get more of everything. You get more weight, which is good in some ways because this is still a light bike, but it feels more planted on the street compared to the MT-07. I found very much after riding numerous MT-07s, they have a lot of wiggle, and the MT-09 itself is known for having a lot of shuffle in its tail when you plant it really, really hard into corners. But the MT-07 especially, go around a corner like this, that front end would be wiggling and bouncing around way more than the MT-09 ever will. But then there's always a devil's advocate, because that plays into its charm. It's just for the everyday rider, and this is my opinion, if you're going to be riding more than just little city streets and around little towns or around the city, and you're not really young and you're not really into that like cheap thrills, the MT-09 just has a lot more refinement, which is a lot more comfort, which translates better to a more refined riding experience, and it ticks a bit of that both worlds. You still get the lunacy, of course, because it's an MT-09, you still get all of that stupidness with it, but at the same time you can also decide if you want to tone it right down and just cruise, because it has so much power and so much torque, and it has 3 cylinders. The smoothness is a lot better on a long ride, and that's one thing I find. If you're looking to do road trips, or if you're going to daily ride a bike over the MT-07 and MT-09, that is probably one of the biggest arguments for it, is the MT-07 gets tiresome very quick if you're doing longer distance. As I said, if you're not just doing pottering around your local towns. But I don't want to take too much away from the MT-07 because they both get up and boogie, and they will both quite happily pop around a few cars if you need to overtake. It's just this does it so much better, of course, because of the big cojones it has underneath the tank. Okay, I think we're in the clear. I mean, I'd take an MT-07 over that any day, I'll tell you that for free. Let's give the MT-07 some props, because I don't want this to be a whole video just completely taking the MT-09 and running with it, because the MT-07 is a good bike. I don't want you guys, like I said, flaming me in the comments with your caps lock on, telling me how much of an idiot I am and I'm a moron, and that the MT-07 is the fastest thing since sliced bread, just because you own one. But they are really good bikes. I mean, for the price, the budget, what they do everything pretty good in terms of fun factor. I'd argue that they are probably in the top 5 street bikes of fun you can have, because they're so playful. And if you ask me, that's what the ultimate intention of an MT-07 is smiles per miles. This will do it, as I said. You just have to be a bit more sensible about it, because with the MT-07 it does run out a little bit when you start running out of the RPMs, so you have to go up a gear, which is good, still has enough power, but this thing will just keep going and it will double down. But as I say, the MT-07 is a really fun bike. There is a lot to love about it. It's just if you are a bit more of a taller rider like me, or you're a little bit more heavy set, it is slightly cramped on the MT-07, let's be honest, and that was a big factor for me. I am probably brushing the testicles of 6 feet with my little tiny hairs that are left on my head. So if you're around the 6 foot mark, you are going to find the MT-07 super cramped, whereas the MT-09 does offer a lot more room. And if you get this generation, the Gen 3 down, you can slide along the seat because it is like a big dirt bike seat, whereas the new one, they've kind of split it up to make it look like the MT-07s, which I'm not personally a big fan of. I prefer this gen, to be honest. There's a lot more comfort to be had in the seat that you can move around on. And one more thing the MT-07 does, I'm getting scared, it doesn't look real. That wall that wall of black looks ominous as hell, man. I don't like this. But yeah, the MT-07 is probably one of the best sounding bikes you can get on the street. When you uncork those things and stick on a straight pipe, I can't lie, the MT-07 sounds amazing. Does it sound as nice as the MT-09? Well, I don't know. It definitely barks a lot more in the low end, and it does have a lot more backfire, so I don't know. I got to stick with the 09, and this is why I chose it. I love the sound. It's like some sort of, I don't know, yeah, like, there you go, something from another planet. If that was ominous, the MT-09's exhaust is way more ominous when you hear that thing coming down the road. And when you have the quick shifter, this thing, you guys probably can't hear the pops over the microphone. That bite you get when you hit the quick shifter, it's like bap, bap. That. Let me see if I can just slow down and give you guys a taste of the quick shifter, and hopefully you can hear it over the microphone. But listen to when the very tiny segment when I kick through the gears, it just has that little backfire while it cuts the fuel for a second. I hope you guys can hear the pops. Is that a Santa hat? Okay, quick shifter. Before I lose my train of thought today, I'm sketched out by the rain, the police are after me, there's, I don't know. Anyway, listen out for the quick shifter, the little barks in between the gear shifts. Ready? Oh, it sounds so good. And bear in mind that I do have the baffle in this bike. It's too loud. When I take out the baffle and just have a straight, like complete straight pipe, it's actually obnoxious. Like, it's too painful, even with earplugs in. It's the most annoying thing if you're riding more than 5 minutes. Expect the unexpected. Clearly, this looks like the end of the earth. So dark. Like, I'm surprised there's no lightning coming through these clouds. They would look very pretty with this backdrop, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about a deforested area that they've completely ravaged, and that backdrop. Very fitting out here in New Zealand. It's definitely like being in the Lord of the Rings. Beautiful but scary. And you know the worst thing about it? I actually live that way. I mean, look at the contrast of that side to that side. Nice old Corvette. So, one must assume that you guys are watching this video because you're either interested in either the MT-07 or the MT-09, or you own one or the other, or both, or you're just watching out of sheer interest. But if you've got any experience with any of these bikes, let people know in the comments your experiences and why you went with what you went for, and if you did go for the 09, what your reasons are. Because I know a lot of people watch these videos with the idea in mind to try and take a couple of snippets from it as help into their deciding factor of what they should do. But ultimately, when it comes to buying a bike, the only way to really find out is to plonk your derriere, put your ass on the seat and try it for yourself. What in the 1930s is going on over there? But yeah, with anything like this kind of topic, when you're looking at someone's objective opinion, it's exactly that. It's objective. It's my opinion. So take it with a pinch of salt. But it's all about the community with these kind of videos, and the comments is the best place to be if you ask me. But I think we got lucky, guys. We made it out of the rain. Do we risk it for the biscuit? One last pull on the 09. So it's just effortless, and I barely hit 7,000 RPM then. It's just got so much to give over the 07. I don't know if this video even answered anything for you guys. I don't even know if you even enjoyed it. If you did, the best way to show is, like I said, leave a nice comment, throw a bit of your feedback in this comments. Throw a bit of your feedback surrounding this topic in the comments. And I think I'm going to leave you guys at that, because as I said, I'm about to get rained on. Look at that for some timing. Just made it before we got soaked. How awesome. Just got home. Look at the state of that.